First section in Chapter 5 is about using more than one right triangle to solve application problems. The thing that you're going to make use of a lot while you're doing these problems is you're going to make use of SOHCAHTOA. Sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse, cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, and tangent is the opposite over adjacent. So as you're doing these problems, be thinking about SOHCAHTOA. Also, draw your picture very carefully and label it so that you can find what you need. Okay, our first question. To estimate the height of a mountain above a level plain, the angle of elevation to the top of the mountain is measured to be 32 degrees. Then you travel 1,000 feet closer to the mountain and find that the angle of elevation is 35 degrees. What is the height of the mountain? So I'm going to fill in the numbers that I know first. First of all, okay, I'm trying to find the height of the mountain, so I'm going to put that as h. This is a right angle because I'm measuring the height from the level plane. I know that my two positions are 1,000 feet apart. I don't know how far I am from the mountain when I'm here, so I'm just going to call that B because I don't know how far it is. I know that when I was far away from the mountain, my angle of elevation was 35 degrees. Nope, 32 degrees, sorry. And I know that when I was closer to the mountain, my angle of elevation was 35 degrees. So now that I've used the information from my problem, I'm going to put that away so that I have some space to work. So I'm going to start by looking at this triangle. Okay. In that triangle, I'm interested in the height, and I don't know the base, but I can call it B. So in that triangle, I could use tangent of 35, and I'm using tangent because it was opposite and adjacent, and I don't care about the hypotenuse. So tangent of 35 is h over b. And then I'm going to look at the other triangle that I know about. The other triangle is this bigger triangle. Also a right triangle. And for that triangle, h is still the opposite side, but the adjacent side is 1,000 plus b. Oops. So what I'm noticing is that it would be pretty easy to get h by itself in that blue equation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Purple equation. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as h is equal to b times tangent of 35. And in my other equation, I'm going to replace h with that. So I have tangent of 32 degrees is equal to b times tangent of 35 degrees over 1,000 plus b. So all I've done was rewrite this equation and replace the h with this information. Okay, now I'm going to try to figure out what b is. So the way I'll figure out what b is I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 1,000 plus b. I have tangent of 32 degrees times 1,000 plus b is equal to b times tangent of 35 degrees. I'm going to distribute the tangent of 32, so I have 1,000 times tangent of 32 plus tangent of 32 times b is equal to b times tangent of 35. I'm going to subtract my b's over so that I have all my b's together. And distribute the b out. And then I'm going to divide to get b by itself. Now, all of this is just a big decimal on my calculator. That's what b is. I actually don't really care what b is. I more care about what h is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find h by taking b times tangent of 35. But to make my life easier on my calculator, first I'm going to figure out what b is on my calculator. Okay, so I'm going to grab a calculator and I'm doing 1,000. Oh, just so you know, your mode should be degrees so that you can get this right. So 1,000 times tangent of 32 degrees divided by, and I'm putting my tangents in parentheses here because I want to make sure I subtract before I divide. And that's not my answer, that's my b answer. So in order to get my h answer, I'm going to multiply that times tangent of 35. And so what I get for the height of the mountain is that the height of the mountain is 5,807.655 feet. And I got that with SOHCAHTOA, but it took 2 triangles for me to get that information and a lot of calculations. All right, example 2. I want you to take a minute and try to draw this picture. Read the words carefully and come back after you have made an attempt at the drawing. Okay, so my observer is 500 feet away from the base of the building. He reads the angle of elevation to the top of the building, and we got 24 degrees. But then he also looked at the top of the flagpole, and when he did that, he got 27 degrees. And our job is to find the height of the building and the length of the flagpole. So I'm going to call H the height of the building, and I'll call F the height of the flagpole. Okay, so to start with, I should be able to find the height of the building using that smaller triangle. So that would be opposite and adjacent. So I'm going to use tangent of 24 is equal to H over 500. So H is going to be 500 times tangent of 24. And then I'm going to figure out the flagpole height. Similar, I'm going to do tangent of 27 now. And that's going to be F plus H over 500. So F plus H is going to be tangent of 27 times 500. But H is So I'm going to subtract h from both sides. So the height of the flagpole is going to be 500 times tangent of 27 minus 500 times tangent of 24. I want both of these pieces of information, so I'm going to grab my calculator and figure out what both of those pieces of information are. Okay, so the height of the building is 222.614, and our units that we're using are feet. So that's how tall the building is. And what I can do with that number is I can store that so that I don't have to try to remember it. So that's the height of the building. Now I'm going to do tangent of 27 times 500. And then I'm going to subtract the height of the building. And that gives me the height of the flagpole. So the height of the flagpole is going to be 32.148. And that's also measured in feet. Okay. So again, I had two separate right triangles. I used SOHCAHTOA to figure out the measurements that I was missing in those two triangles. I have some tips for you as you're working through these. Make sure you read the problem and then read it again so you make sure you understand what's going on. Draw a picture and label your picture as much as you can before you even start doing SOHCAHTOA. Once you have your information, use SOHCAHTOA to solve for the missing pieces and make sure your answer has units. All right, thank you so much. Bye.